Couple of nades going down. No kills going to be thrown. We've got a lot of set nades going down. We've got one player for Team Pandemic, I think, lagged out at spawn. No, Curious G, he has come back. Shanks, what are you seeing on the other side of them?
Yeah, that was actually exactly what I saw. Curious G was lagging out, but looks like he's back now, so there's not going to be any dead round type thing. Minute 20 left in the match. Looks like the 20 ID is pushing it really slow right now. As Smoke has gone down in front of South House, Curious G firing outside of the cellar houses. Nabor getting a double headshot kill on Sire Frosty and Havoc, so right off the bat, he's coming out with a double kill, so big advantage for the German side. This is a German-sided map, so 20 ID trying to figure out what to do. As I'm going to kind of scroll over and see where everybody's at. Looks like we got Clint Eastwood sitting up in top of the Arch's house, peeks out of the window and takes down Miller, so now it's a 3-on-4 situation. Now we got 48 seconds left. It's Clint Eastwood, Viper going up against Nabor, Wiz, Curious G, and Prank. And now Viper goes down to a headshot of Wiz, and Nabor finishing off Clint Eastwood as Nabor was up on top of Cellar House, found out where Clint Eastwood was and put him down. So there you have it. Pandemic taking out the first round of the match, 1-0 over 20 ID Jester.
Alright, yeah, Nabor and Wiz cleaning up there for Team Pandemic. Nabor grabbing 3 kills and Wiz grabbing 2. Great job done by both of them. And with round number 2 starting, we're going to get action in with 10 seconds into the round, Smoke has been deployed in front of the MG house by 20 ID. It looks like they're going to do a south push into the MG house. Set nades being thrown into the MG and into middle house courtyard. 3 20 ID players making their way into the MG house right now. We've got Miller from Team Pandemic sitting back behind the B bomb site, gonna lay some fire into the players in bottom MG. No kills yet. Miller puts a nice headshot into Clint Eastwood, then Sire Frosty gonna return the favor and put a bullet into Wiz's head. 4-on-4 action right now with a minute 20 seconds remaining in round number 2. A lot of action in the MG house area right now. Fire going down, and Miller going to grab another headshot, second of the round into Razor, then Viper going to scope into Miller, taking him down, and that will be the only player, oh no, I believe it was the second player, there's still Nabor sitting back behind the B bomb site, and he's going to put some bullets into Sire Frosty, and it's going to be 3-on-2 action in favor of Team Pandemic. Shanks, what do you...
Well, I'm watching Havoc's right now, and he's going down with a big battle in the South House, and he's getting shot at from all directions, but he managed to survive, and now he sees somebody and just grabs their head, and that was Curious Chip on top of the cellar house. So Havoc's just getting a real quick peek on Curious G and getting the kill and getting 20 ID a very important round. Again, this is a very German-sided map, so we'll see what 20 ID does this side. They did play it slow the first round, a little bit quicker the second round, and we'll see what they do here on the third there, Jester.
Alright, yeah, and with the third round starting, it looks like the German smoke, I believe it is, has been deployed in front of the Arches building, and the American smoke, yet again, is going to go down in front of the MG house. Looks like the Americans are, again, going to try to work the MG house, but right off the bat, Curious G going to put some 44 bullets into Razor. He was pushing the far south wall and was taken down very quickly. 5-on-4 action right now in favor of Team Pandemic. A little bit of fire going to go down in the North Street area. I believe that was Nabor being shot at. Yes, it was. And Curious G going to put some more bullets into Sire Frosty and going to grab another man advantage for Team Pandemic. It's now 5-on-3, but then Havoc's going to return the favor. Curious G going to put some bullets into Havoc's, and then Clint Eastwood going to pick up a nice headshot into Prankster. Then Nabor going to pick up a nice double kill into Clint Eastwood, and Viper grabbing a headshot with the 44 into both of them. And Team Pandemic is going to pick up the third round, and the score is now 2-1 in favor of Team Pandemic.
Yeah, that's right. Nabor getting into his form again as he gets the last 2 kills there. He's now 6-1 on top of the leaderboard. Curious G getting a triple kill that round. So Pandemic getting all the kills right around the mini-arch area. So they go up 2-1. As we'll pick it up again with the 20 ID side, looks like they are going to make sort of a B push as Viper has the scope over by the boxes. As yes, they are making a B push. They're making their way into the Arch's house. Miller, though, getting the first 44 shot into Sire Frosty. So 4-on-5. Disadvantage for 20 ID as they're trying to figure out what to do. Most everybody's in the Arch's house right now trying to get the pick. Smoke has gone down in front of the cellar house as Razor and his teammate are up on top of Cellar, and his teammate that was right next to him was Curious. Oh no, that wasn't Curious G, excuse me. Trying to figure out what that was. I think it was Clint Eastwood that almost got taken down there, but still 4 on 5. A lot of fire being exchanged. A lot of fire coming out of the cellar house as the plant has gone down. Plant has gone down on the east side of the A bomb site as 20 ID pretty much has this locked down, but they are at a disadvantage. Clint Eastwood looking into the cellar house, getting a hit, but not able to take anybody down. And I'm going to try and find out where the battle is, but Viper and Nabor exchanging kills there, and now it's a 3 on 4 as, again, we'll try and find out where the action is. Looks like most of it is over right on top of the A bomb site as Clint Eastwood peeks out and takes down Rob Wiz. So 3 on 3 is what's going on right now. As we got Nabor, Miller, and Pratt, the last ones left against Viper, Clint Eastwood, and Razor. A lot of fire being exchanged, and no Nabor putting down Clint Eastwood, who was peeking out top of the Arches house. Battle going on in Arches. Miller getting a headshot into Razor, and now Viper answering back with a scope shot of his own, taking the leader Nabor down. So now 2-on-1 situation. Bomb explodes, and there you have it. 20 ID, even though they were at a disadvantage, wins the round by default. Pandemic not able to take the radio down or defuse it. So now 2-on-2 there, Jester. Things are getting a little more interesting.
Yeah, that was a perfectly played round by 20 ID. Getting the perfect plant down and setting up in their positions. No matter how many players you have on the German side, with easy picks like that coming from the 20 ID side, they're going to win that every single time. And it looks like with the 5th round starting, 20 ID is going to try a B push, and Nabor going to put a nice car shot into Viper and Razor, and then Prank, 14 Pandemic, going to put some bullets into Clint Eastwood. 5-on-2 advantage right now in favor of Team Pandemic. Havocs and Sire Frosty, the last remaining American players, and Sire Frosty going to put some Garand bullets into Wiz, and then Prank going to take down Havocs with the 44 in the whole house area. We have Sire Frosty, the only remaining American right now, left for 20 ID with, a minute 20 left in the 5th round. Again, let's get a score rundown. We've got Nabor sitting atop everyone with a score of 10 and 2, and then second it will come in with 20 ID Viper sitting with a score of 5 and 3. Again, with a minute remaining in the 5th round, Sire Frosty is going to have to pull off a beautiful clutch here, 4-on-1. Let's see if he's going to do it. He's working his way over towards the Arches building right now, and he's going to be taking down Nabor easily with the car into the chest, and Sire Frosty's going to be taken down with 50 seconds remaining in round number 5, and the score is now 3-2 in favor of Team Pandemic.
Yeah, you know what? Pandemic read that perfectly as the push was going on towards the A bomb site, I believe it is. Sorry, I'll have to get back to you on that one. But anyways, they hung back and just did a fantastic job. And yes, it was the B bomb site, but Pandemic hanging back, getting the picks, stopping the rush by 20 ID. So that puts them up 3-2. Still a very close game. Just seems to be going back and forth as far as rounds go. Again, your leading scores on the board 11 and 2. Viper at 5 and 3. As now 20 ID is now backed off big time. They're going to do their slow push like they did the first round. As I'm kind of watching Razor up on the south side, seeing somebody up on top of Cellar House, but not anymore. So I'm going to kind of pan over here and see what else I can find. Looks like the rest of the 20 ID guys are kind of pushing up in front of South House. I would expect Havocs to throw the smoke out here pretty soon. And he throws an 8 up, no kills, still 5-on-5. Really, really slow. We got about a minute and 10 seconds left as people are making their way in. And Viper getting the first kill, taking the board down. Huge kill for Viper as he takes down the leading score. And now 20 ID shifting back to the B bomb site as the smoke now goes down on top of the card by the B bomb site. And Havoc seeing somebody up on top of Arches, getting the hit, but not putting him down. And no, Clint Eastwood comes and backs him up, takes down Prank, who was up on top of Arches. Now 4-on-2 situation as now Miller and Rob Wiz, last ones left. I'm going to try and pan over them. Rob Wiz, he's on the defensive side, just jumped out of the South House, now on the ground just below Arches. He's hearing the bomb go down, and he puts a shotty into Viper, looking for a second kill, but doesn't quite get it. But here we go, Rob Wiz, last one left, 1-on-3 situation as he's made his way up into the top Arches. He's still got Clint, Sire Frosty, and Havocs to take down as he jumps out of Arches, sees somebody up in the top of Cellar House, but isn't able to take him, but sees him. Oh, almost gets a headshot, but saw somebody on the crossover as he's now making his way up on the top of on the top of Cellar, and just looks like it's a game of chase right now as he's taking hits back from the German spawn. So he's going to have a real tough time as everybody knows where he is right now. Wiz, again, he sees somebody on crossover. And he takes him down with a beautiful shot. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, but he does know somebody's back in the German spawn. Also seeing somebody creeping up on him by the fence line. So just trying to clutch it here. He's got about 5 seconds to defuse, sees somebody up there, but I don't think it's going to happen. They're doing a great job of staying down at Sire Frosty. There you have it. Put him down with a grand shot. Rob Wiz, excellent effort there. But man, when you're 1-on-3, that's certainly a tough situation against a great team like 20 ID.
Yeah, a great job, like you said, by 20 ID. Wiz put all his effort into that. That's all he could do. They were sitting in their spots. Those are the perfect spots that they could have had to defend the bomb, and he did his best. Nice try on the clutch, and the score is now sitting at an even 3-3, and we're going to get round number 7 started right now. Looks like the 20 ID side is going to do a little bit of a split. Miller going to put a nice set nade into Clint Eastwood, grabbing him right outside a hole house. Set nades again being thrown into the MG house. No smoke has been deployed for either team. A lot of fire going to go down into the middle house area, and Razor going to take down Miller, and then Curious G going to put some bullets into Razor. He's going to grab a headshot. Beautifully done behind the south crates. And we've got Wiz sitting on the MG going to try to pick somebody. That will be Sire Frosty outside of the whole house courtyard, I believe that is. Yes, it is. We've got 4-on-3 action in favor of Team Pandemic right now with 1:13 remaining in round number 7. Shanks, what do you...
Well, I'm seeing about the same thing you are, as, again, I've been kind of watching Sire Frosty, but, there you go, Havoc's with a headshot, evening things up. So now 3-on-3 situation as we're back with Sire Frosty and his teammate Viper, who are making their way up into the arches stairs. They see somebody up on top of the stairs, and they back off. So they're kind of split between the pink room and the stairs as they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. But again, 3-on-2 situation as Nabor and Curious G, the last ones left. I'm going to try and figure out where Nabor's at. Nabor's made his way into the courtyard as he sees somebody climbing the stairs. So Nabor coming up the stairs, trying to get in behind somebody. Sire Frosty getting a kill on Curious G, but Nabor's right behind him, tries to get an open scope, but not getting it, and Sire Frosty coming back, turning right and around. 180 headshot in Nabor, putting him down. Everybody's doing a little laughing because it was a really quick whip shot, but tell you what, Nabor gave his position away and opened himself up to that headshot. And here you go, they're trading rounds, but 20 ID now on top on the American side. 4-3, Jester.
Yeah, 20 ID doing a great job on the American side right now. It is the harder side, like you said, and they are leading. Even 4 rounds on the side is an excellent half. And Frank going to pick up a double kill into Razor and Clint Eastwood. That was outside of Whole House. Great job done by him. And we now have 5-on-3 action in favor of Team Pandemic with 1:35 remaining in round number 8. And it looks like the Americans are going to try a B push. Their smoke has been deployed at the wagon. And a little bit of fire going to go down through the smoke. No picks are going to be made. No kills have been thrown down since the huge double set nade thrown by Havoc's, I believe it was. No, excuse me,
I think it was Prank. I think it was Prank, yeah.
Excuse me, yeah. And it looks like the Americans are pushing into the middle house area. We've got Sire Frosty sitting out in the courtyard, and Havoc's going to put some 44 bullets into Prank. Great job done by him, and we've got Havoc sitting behind the wagon right now. Smoke is vanishing right now. Their hopes of planting the bomb are, diminishing. I'm stumbling over my words, but with 50 seconds remaining in round number 8, we've got 3-on-4 action still in favor of Team Pandemic right now. A lot of them sitting in arches and middle house, and Curious G sitting all by himself down in the south MG house. It looks like he's going to be holding that down, peeking around, and he's going to put some bullets into the back of Sire Frosty. Going to pick up another kill for Team Pandemic. They've got 4-on-2 action right now. Shanks, what do you see?
Well, I'm watching Vipers. He's sneaking his way into the south house. Thought he had somebody taken by surprise, but that's not to be. It's Curious G as the battle, but no, Viper getting a no-scope into Curious G, putting him down. So now 2-on-3 situation as 20 ID trying to get a plant down. They got 14 seconds left as Viper is now on the plant, but Wiz right on top of Cellar House, bolting him down. So Viper goes down. I got 6 seconds left, 5 seconds left. No plant going down, no hope left for 20 ID. As Havoc's is the last one left. He's going to save his gun, and that's going to be the end of the round. So nice try by 20 AD, trying to sneak their way into the A-bomb site. but it wasn't to be as Pandemic comes back, ties it up now 4-on-4. Again, your leaderboard, Viper on top of the 20 ID side at 8-5, with Nabor again still on top of the Pandemic side, 11-4.
Alright, yeah, like you said, Nabor sitting on top. He has slowed down a little bit, 1 kill in the last couple rounds, and we're going to get a huge push into the north by 20 ID. They're all going to go B. They're running down into the arches area, all 4 of them, with the only remaining person back. That'll be Viper with the sniper. Well, that one rhymes. And we've got smoke being deployed at the wagon. Curious, she going to put a grenade into Nabor, his own teammate, and Nabor going to pick up a double kill into Clint Eastwood and Havoc. Huge nades going down right now. Nabor being picked off by his own teammate, but then a double set nade going to go down into Havoc's and Clint Eastwood. Great job done by the German side, and Sire Frosty going to put some Thompson bullets into Curious G. We've got 3-on-3 action right now with 1:15 remaining in round number 9. I think they're going to try to work the B bomb site and throw that plant down. The smoke has been deployed, but it is diminishing, and Prank going to put some 44 bullets into Viper. Great job. He is sitting atop of Middle House right now with the 44, and we've got a 3-on-2 advantage right now for Team Pandemic. We've got Miller, Wiz, and Prank remaining for the Team Pandemic side, and for 20 ID we have Sire Frosty and Razor. Shanks, what are you seeing on the other side of the map?
Well, right now, it's pretty much Sire Frosty and Razor, the last one's left. And here we go, we got a battle over on the North Alley, and Sire Frosty just sneaking around on Rob Wiz and put him down with a grand shot. So now 2-on-2 situation. As again, we got about 40 seconds left as Sire Frosty has made his way into the B-bomb site, taking some hits over by the cellar as he's putting the plant down. Miller right now is kind of jumping out. They're trying to put him down. And oh, there you go, Miller getting a shot on Sire Frosty. Sire Frosty just not able to see where the shots are coming from. You was putting the plant down, but just not able to make it connect. And now Miller behind the wagon right now, as it's kind of a jumping match right now, and Prank there to back Miller up with a headshot and a Razor, the last one left. And there you go, Pandemic now taking the lead, 5-4 in Nabor, getting a few more kills there. Looks like everybody on the 20 ID side kind of doing their job, except for Razor. He's a 2-9 right now. He's kind of trailing the rest of his team, but everybody else kind of doing their job. But definitely Nabor, shouldn't say carrying his team, but man, he's sure getting the kills.
Yeah, like you said, Razor having a little bit of a tough time grabbing the kills, but this is a team effort, and it doesn't matter how many kills you have as long as you guys pick up the win. And with round number 10 starting off, no smoke has been deployed and no set nades have been thrown down. We've still got 5-on-5 action with 1:30 remaining in round number 10. It looks like the Americans are going to throw down a split. A couple going MG House and a couple going Arches. A little bit of fire going to come down from Nabor. He was sitting back behind in German spawn. He was going to throw some fire into the Arches building. Not going to pick anyone. We've got the sniper Viper again sitting atop of Butcher House. He's going to jump out, and they're going to make their way into the whole house area. And Sire Frosty going to put a nice headshot into Prank. He was sitting up in Middle House area, I believe it was. Or maybe he was in MG. Yes, he was in the MG house. And it looks like the American smoke has been deployed inside the Middle House, I think. Yes, it has. And the Americans are going to push the B bomb site. We've got 2 Germans back at the B bomb site. Havoc's going to put a nice shot into Miller and grabbing a pineapple grenade into Nabor. That is all beautifully done by Havoc's. He has picked up this round almost by himself right there, throwing down the plant and picking up 2 kills. But Curious G going to put some bullets into Razor, then Sire Frosty going to return the favor with the Garand and down Curious G, who is sitting atop Middle House. 20 ID going to even things out with a score now sitting at 5-5.
Yeah, I was kind of specking Havoc's there. Did a great job throwing up a nade and getting a shoddy blast into Nabor. So 2 almost immediate kills there as as they take the round, they tie it up. So it just seems to be round per round as we have 2 more rounds left. And before we go into the halftime, as we're going to catch up again with the 20 ID side, Sire Frosty getting the first pineapple and the Prank. So they again take the advantage for 2 rounds in a row now. As here we go. Looks like Viper's with the scope. He's up on Butcher. He's scoped out right now, so I'm going to try and find somebody else. Looks like they are going to make a B push, but they do have Razor sitting over by the South House, not really doing much, just kind of peeking over towards the South House, not seeing anything, as Havoc's with the Shoddy and the Tommy combo is up by Piano. They're really doing a slow push right now, as Clint Eastwood, a.k.a. Brett, getting the grand shot into Miller. So now 5-on-3 as Havoc throws out the smoke out by the cart, throws out a nade as well, and Viper getting a nade in on Nabor. So now 5-on-2. Looks like 20 ID got this round just about wrapped up, but they don't have the bomb planning just yet. We got Curious G and Rob Wiz, the two lower scores for the Pandemic team. As Brett gets another shot on a Rob Wiz, still one guy left. We got Curious G. Plan has gone down. Havoc's planted a bomb, and the gunfight is going down, but Curious G coming through with a 44 shot, putting down Sire Frosty. So we're going to try and figure out where he's at. And it looks like Curious G, he's in pink room, peeking out the back door, looking out towards the north alley, looking into looking at arches, but Razor coming through with a headshot into Curious G again. And now that puts 20 ID up 6-5. And here we are in the last round before we go in half, Jester.
Yeah, and I would think that I would think that Pandemic, it is a must for them to pick up this round and even things out. They are on the easier side, and they haven't taken the advantage on the German side. But again, we're going to start round number 12 off. Let's see if they can pick it up for Team Pandemic. And it looks like the Americans are again going to do the little split, sending a couple to MG and a couple to Arches. They haven't even made their way across the street to Whole House right now, not wanting to be picked off by the pineapple grenades. And still 5-on-5 action right now with 1:35 remaining. No smoke being thrown down. Looks like Havoc is going to make his way for 20 ID into the bottom middle. He's going to hopefully defend himself. He's all by himself in there where a lot of the Germans are usually sitting. And Havoc's going to put a nice headshot into Wiz. Beautifully done by the shotty. And the Boar for Team Pandemic sitting atop of Arches with a 44. And with 1:15 remaining in round number 12. Prank going to put a nice headshot into Viper, evening the odds at 4-4 right now. A little bit of a slow push, I believe it is. We've got two Pandemic players sitting at A and two at B. And let's see what we've got on the 20 ID side. We've got Sire Frosty over outside of Arches. The smoke has been deployed for the Americans at the wagon. Shanks, are you seeing anything in the Arches building right now?
Well, right now in the Arches building, everybody's kind of pro and hanging out. Prank getting a headshot on Havoc's, but I'm watching Miller, who's watching the stairs right now, and Nabor's kind of backing him up, peeking out the windows, also checking out the stairs. So here you go, the battle's coming up, and Nabor putting down Sire Frosty, who's trying to bolt his way up the stairs. So Pandemic doing a great job stopping that rush in the Arches. So now one person left for the 20 ID side. I'm going to scroll over to Razor, see where he's at. He's up on top of Cellar House right now. He's going to look into Arch's house, get a hit on the board, but doesn't quite come through. And now there you have it. Miller was downstairs. Arches kind of peeked his way out and put a 44 into it. And there you go. Tied up at half. 20 ID and Pandemic tied up 6-6 in half. So I'm going to give you the rundown as far as the 20 ID side goes. Sire Frosty, it's going to be 12-9. Viper 9-7. Havoc's 8-6. Clint Eastwood, a.k.a. Brad, at 6-10, and Razor bringing up the rear at 3-11 as I'm readying up, waiting for the last couple people to ready up here, Jester. And why don't you run us down on the Pandemic side?
All right, yeah, we've got Nabor sitting like he always is up top. Great player. He's sitting with a score of 14-7. Then we've got Miller 9-7, Prank 8-8, Curious G sitting at 6-8, and Wiz with a score of 5-9, holding down the top spot. And this has been a very exciting half to cast, and all players have readied up, and we're going to start the second half. And Shanks, I'm going to throw it over to you to start round number 13.
All right, we're just getting started here, but folks, get on pound e-rev on the Game Surge Network. Get us your shoutouts. We'll get them live and on the air. And here we are. It's tied up 6-6 as we bring you second half of TGL Pro on MP Carentan. This is week 6. And we're going to be watching a little bit more of the Pandemic side, kind of like we did on 20 ID on the American side. So right off the bat, lots of nades being exchanged over Whole House as the Pandemic side is starting to make their way towards a B push. So I'm going to try and focus in on them a little bit as Rob Wiz with the shotty is making his way under the Arches. And the rest of his team's kind of pushing their way under. A lot of fire being exchanged, and Clint Eastwood coming through with a 44 on Miller and getting a double kill on Curious G. So there's it's now 3-on-4 2-on-5 as Rob Wiz with the shotty, taking some hits from behind, but he peeks out the window and with a Tommy takes down Sire Frosty. So Wiz knows he's got somebody behind him, so he's peeking those arches stairs. I don't know if anybody's still down there. I'm kind of afraid to scroll around. I want to see what's going on with Wiz because he's getting the kills right now. It's now a 3-on-3 situation as Nabor coming in with a headshot on Havocs. So again, Nabor still on top as Wiz is making his way down the stairs, but Clint Eastwood coming through again with a headshot on Nabor. So now a 2-on-3 disadvantage for the Pandemic team as they're trying to figure out where Brett has made his way. Oh, and there he is. Rob was looking around the corner, taking him down with a shotgun, making it a 2-on-2, even advantage. 45 seconds left as Rob Wiz and Prank try and figure out what they want to do. I know they want to make a B plant, but I think they're kind of splitting it up. And Razor coming in, just peeking out the top cellar, putting a 44 shot into Wiz. So the Prank's the last one left, as it looks like both 20 ID guys are up top in cellar. And he, Prank tries to make his way through. I don't think he knew two people were up there, but Viper getting the 44 kill on the Prank and putting 20 ID ahead, 7-6. But, battle down to the wire there for that round. Great battle. Prank the last one left for the Pandemic side. But Jester, go ahead and bring us in round 14.
All right, yeah, with round number 14 starting off right now. Advantage sitting in the 20 ID side. They're sitting at 7, and Team Pandemic sitting at 6. They picked up the first round on the German side. It is the easier side, and looks like they're going to want to keep their success up. We have Razor watching the whole exit out the back door, and let's see, no kills have been thrown down yet. No set nade's going to grab anybody at the start of the round. We've got a minute 30 remaining in round number 14. No smoke has been deployed as of yet, and it's a bit of a standstill right now. And at that, tell all your friends, pound e-rev on the Game Surge Network, e-rev, and tell them to log on to the website, check everything out. I checked out the cast. It is looking great. I hope you guys enjoy it. Still nothing going down with a minute 5 remaining in round number 14. 5-on-5 action. It doesn't look like Pandemic is pushing at all. They're sitting hoping that 20 ID is going to come to them, but a seasoned team like 20 ID, they will do no such thing. And American Smoke has been deployed at the B wagon, and a little bit of fire going to go down into the B bomb site area. Then Wiz going to put a shotty into Clint Eastwood, and Viper going to pick up a headshot into Nabor. He was sitting on the MG, and then Miller going to put some Thompson bullets into Sire Frosty. And it's going to pick up the advantage for Team Pandemic. It's 4-on-2 in favor of them right now. We've got Havocs and Razor, the last two remaining 20 ID players, and I believe they are up top of middle house. We've got Razor up top of middle, and Havocs behind the B bomb site. Miller going to put a nice headshot into Razor. Beautifully done. So 4-on-1 action right now. Havoc's going to have his work cut out for him right now if he wants to clutch. We've got Curious G, Prank, Wiz, and Miller remaining for the Team Pandemic side. And with time ticking away, there's only 30 seconds left. The bomb has been planted at the B bomb site, though I doubt Havocs will be able to pick up all 4 kills before he is able to defuse. Havoc's just sitting back in the Axis spawn right now. I think he's going to want to keep his 2 guns, but they're going to poke around the corner and put some 44 bullets into him. Beautifully done. Sorry to hear that from Havoc's. He was hoping to keep those 2 guns, but he's going to be taken down with about 15 seconds remaining on the bomb, and that is going to pick up the 14th round for Team Pandemic. Things are sitting at an even 7-7.
Yeah, there was a few laps exchanged there after Miller doing a great job on the flank, taking on a bunch of people here. And I was kind of watching Curious G's been pinging 999. I don't know if he's tabbing out or if he's just having problems. But again, he's back with us. But again, 7-7. We are tied up. So it's just again going round for round as both teams just doing an excellent job on offense and defense. Very evenly matched teams as the top. The top U.S. rankings on GotFrag are showing that these teams are right next to each other. 20 ID did take the 3rd spot over Pandemic, who's sitting in 4th spot from what I believe. But here we are. We are in round 15. I'm going to try and pick it up with the 20 ID team, as it looks like, I'm going to watch the Pandemic team, because they're on the offense right now, and it looks like they are making a B push, as most of them have moved their way into the South House, and they're going to try and find a way to push in as Rob Wiz throws his smoke out on the A bomb site. Sire Frosty coming out with the first bolt shot in on Miller. So now 4-on-5 disadvantages. All of Team Pandemic has stacked the South House. If 20ID threw a nade in there, they'd all be done. And there you have it. A nade goes in. Oh, and just barely misses some people. But Brett coming in with a headshot on the bore. Rob was trying to throw a nade. I don't think he knows what he did. Oh, he does. It was a bad nade. And, I thought he almost killed himself there, which would have been really funny. But 3-on-5 disadvantages. We have Rob Wiz, Prank, and Curious G. Last ones left on the Pandemic side. Make that last two as Razor putting a 44 into Prank. And they got 23 seconds left. They're just trying desperately to get out on this A plant. And 20ID just doing a great job holding down top cellar, but no, Rob Wiz hopping in top cellar, getting a bash on Razor. So great job, Rob Wiz. 2-on-4 situation as he jumps over the fence and sees Sire Frosty, but time has expired. Pandemic not able to get the plant down, and by default, round going to 20ID.
All right, yeah, Shanks, like you said, that was a very exciting round. Wiz giving us all the excitement right there, picking up a bash and an jumping out the window shotty into Sire Frosty. And with round number 16 starting off right now, we are about 10 seconds in. The set nades are going to be thrown. No kills are going to be picked up. Again, 20ID is sitting atop the scoreboard right now. Only one round ahead of Team Pandemic. This has been a very close match. Rounds being exchanged pretty much 1-for-1 with 20ID picking one up and then Pandemic responding and vice versa. And it looks like the American smoke has been deployed at the wagon. The Americans are going to try a B push. A couple of them are sitting up top of arches, and I believe that is Prank. Yes, it is. He has made his way to the B bomb site and is going to try to throw it down right in front, but he's going to get a nice set nade from Sire Frosty right on top of him. And that is going to make the odds right now 5-4 in favor of 20ID. Then Razor going to put a nice bullet into Miller. 5-3 right now in favor of 20ID with 1:05 remaining. Then Nabor is going to sneak up on Clint Eastwood and put some Garand bullets right into his chest. And the explosives have been planted at the B bomb site in a nice spot to defend it from arches. This should be an easily defended bomb, and it was nicely planted. I was surprised the 20ID team didn't get the planner or pick him off, but Sire Frosty going to put a nice bullet into Nabor, I believe it was. Yes, it was. And we have Sire Frosty coming around the flank, and he's going to exchange some fire with Wiz, who is sitting in the Arches courtyard. Wiz is going to retreat, and the German smoke has now been deployed in front of the Arches building, and Wiz is going to pick up a shotty into Razor, and then a nice headshot from the MG into Viper. We've got 2-on-2 action right now. Wiz and Curious G against Sire Frosty and Havocs. And Sire Frosty and Havocs going to make their way into the B bomb set area, but Curious G going to put some nice bullets into Havocs from the 44, and then going to put the rest of his clip into Sire Frosty. 3 Germans are all going to be killed on the MG this round. Beautifully done by Team Pandemic. They're going to pick up the 16th round, and again, make the score sit at an even 8-8.
Here we go. It's still tied up. It's now 8-8 with now Sire Frosty's on top of the leaderboard on the 20ID side at 15-13. Nabor still leading his team at 16-11, but Wiz not far behind him at 13-10 as we are going to pick up the Pandemic side. As let's see what they're going to do for a push this time. Looks like they're kind of making a split rush right now. No smoke going anywhere. They're kind of sitting back as shots are being exchanged long distance-wise. Nabor in the blown-out house. Curious G sitting in bottom butcher, looking over towards South House door, not seeing anything. So, again, they're just trying to get the picks right now, but just really not seeing or connecting with anything as they are maybe pushing a little bit through the... No, they're still out by the piano in the courtyard. We got a couple people in the whole house, but they haven't pushed their way through. Miller's way out on the flank on the South House, just watching the door there as the smoke does finally go down. Smoke down by the cart as Prank with the scopes kind of peeking down towards the north alley, not seeing anybody as of just yet. And Curious G coming through with the first kill as he gets a nade on Viper. So right off the bat, Pandemic getting an early lead into this round as they're going to try and figure out what to do. It looks like they are going to make a push into the site, but no, Brett coming in with a nade of his own. Thinking Dunpranky was going to put the plant down. That is now 4-on-4 with 45 seconds left. Nabor coming in behind, and now he's making the plant. He's taking fire, and he does get the plant down. So he's looking on his flank, and he knows somebody's up on top cellar, and he's taking some shots from top cellar. Oh, and Razor coming in and putting Nabor down with a headshot. But Rob was answering right back with a 44 of his own into Brett. So now it's a 3-on-3 situation as Razor, who is doing great up in top cellar, seeing somebody up on top of arches, and Miller getting a shot, and now Razor peeking out, but Wiz coming in, getting a kill of his own. So now I think there's only one person left, and that is going to be Sire Frosty, who's got the bolt. Don't think he's got anything else. He's in the smoke under arches. And he's shooting out, and we got a gun battle going down, but Miller comes through and puts him down with, with the tops, and everybody kind of laughing there. It was kind of a fun round to watch as Pandemic going up around. Let's see, Jester, let's see if 20 ID can come through and bring around back tied up again.
Oh, that's how it usually happens. It goes 1 for 1, and it looks like we're going to get round 18 underway right now, and looks like the Pandemic side going to do a split just like the 20 ID side usually does. They're going to send 2 into the south wall area, I believe it is. No, they're going to send 1 south wall, 1 bombed out, and 2 at spawn, with 1 going towards arches. And a little bit of fire going to go down into the middle house courtyard, but no kills going to be picked up. No smoke has been thrown, and no set-nades have picked up any kills as of yet. 5-on-5 action again with a minute 30 remaining. Some set-nades being thrown back behind the B bomb site area. We've got Sire Frosty for the German side sitting back behind the MG house. Looks like he's going to cock up and throw a grenade. Set-nade into the MG courtyard, I believe it is. Yes, and we've got 2 of the Americans sitting back behind the whole house, both going to throw set nades out over the Arches building and I think into the B bomb site area. And it looks like, no, they didn't throw it. They're going to throw it now. And there we go. It looks like 3 of the Americans are going to push their way into the Arches area, but some set nades being thrown. And who is that American? That'll be Nabor. He's going to look like he's going to try to get into the glitch. He's got the grease gun in hand, and he is going to take Viper with a set nade, and then Havoc's with the grease gun. But Viper before that putting a car bullet into Wiz, and then Miller going to take down Sire Frosty with the Tommy. We've got Curious G disconnecting from the server overflow. It's 2-on-3 in favor of Team Pandemic. It would have been 4-on-2. Oh, but then Miller, beautiful bash into the back of Clint Eastwood. Beautifully done, and it looks like Team Pandemic is going to try to throw the plant down at the B bomb site. But Nabor going to put a nice headshot into Razor with that greaser gun. Going to pick up the 18th round for Team Pandemic. They're going to go ahead by 2. I believe it is for the first time in the match, or maybe the second time. But again, a 2-round lead with these 2 great teams is a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying to figure out if this is going to be a dead round or not. If he can get in time, but I don't think he is. So there you have it. It is going to be a dead round. Curious G just having all kinds of internet issues. Like I said, I've been watching him before. He's just been having all kinds of problems with his internet pinging 999. So this is going to be a dead round. So whatever the score ends up being, it is 10-8 right now. So Pandemic does pick up another round. They go up 2 for the first time this match, and there you have it. They're getting really close to pulling out a win here, but 2019 not real far behind. Folks, now that you're tuned in, I want to point out that tonight we have a big newscast coming up from the Battlefield 2142 crew. I'd like everybody to stay tuned. I believe it's going to be on the same stream. We are going to take a quick break afterwards, and starting at 10:30 Eastern, we're bringing you some great news on the 2142 side. As here we are, we're bringing you round 19. I know it says 10-9 on the leaderboard, but it is 10-8. And Jester, why don't you go ahead and bring us in on round 19?
All right, yeah, like you said, that 19th round becoming a dead round, and with round number 20 starting off, we've got Prank putting the scope into Havoc's right off the get-go with 15 seconds in. 5-on-4 in favor of Team Pandemic. The German smoke has been deployed at the American North boxes, and we've got 3 of the Americans sitting out of whole house. Looks like they're all going to throw, or a couple of them are going to throw their set nades over the Arches building. and into back behind B, and then Viper going to take down Nabor, and Prank going to take down Viper with his set nade, and the American smoke has been deployed at the wagon. They're going to try to work their way into the B bomb site area and probably throw down that plant. Fake plant going down right now. Curious G going to put a nice headshot into Clint. And we've got 4-on-2 action in favor of Team Pandemic right now. Sire Frosty and Razor, the last remaining Germans, and then Sire Frosty going to be taken down by Miller with the Thompson in Middle House Courtyard. So the last remaining German will be Razor. He's sitting with a score of 7 and 16 right now. The bottom of the scoreboard for it would be both teams, but now it'll be Curious G because of his reconnect. And then Curious G, as soon as he comes in, going to pick up 2 kills that round. The last one being into Razor, and then the headshot into Clint Eastwood. Great job done by Curious G that round. And the only casualty of that round for Team Pandemic was Nabor. And with round number 21 starting right now, I'm going to hand it over to Shanks. Shanks, what do you?
No, it is round number 20. It is still 11-8 for Pandemic over 20 ID. So they're looking to go into tying round here as we're going to watch the Pandemic team as they're working their way. Looks like they are going to start making a, well, yeah, it's kind of a middle push right now. They're sitting back a little bit, maybe being a little bit conservative now that they have a little bit of lead, trying to get some picks as a defensive smoke has gone down by the piano. Fire being exchanged in the middle as they're still trying to figure out if they want to make a push into the arches, but everybody just kind of hanging back a little bit right now, and looking over towards the 20 ID side. Yep, they're doing the same thing. Everybody's playing defense. We've got a minute 15 seconds left in the round, so things are going to come to a head here shortly as, oh, Prank, boom, getting the first nade kill on Viper. So there's your first kill of the round. And looks like, oh yes, they are going to make a push towards the B-bomb site. They're looking to make their way into the arches. Let's see if anybody's up in the arches. As, oh, Curious G making his way up and putting Havocs down with a Tommy shot. Prank getting a scope shot on a Razor, but Sire answering back with a shot of his own into Miller. Wiz getting a kill into Brett. So 4-on-1 situation as some big kills coming down for Pandemic, leaving Sire Frosty the leading scorer. 4:20 ID left, and Prank with the scope finds him, puts him down. So that puts Pandemic into the tying round. It's now 12-8. Pandemic over 20 ID. And again, folks, get on pound e-rev on the Game Surge Network. Get your shout-outs. I see a bunch of them already. I'll be making sure to get those here very shortly. Also get them to Jester. I'm e-rev COD2 Shanks, and he's going to be Jester on there. So get us your shout-outs. We'll get them live and on the air. And Jester, go ahead, bring us in round 21.
All right, yeah, with round 21 starting, we've got Sire Frosty on the MG going to take down Miller, and then Nabor going to put a nice headshot into Razor. And we've got 4-on-4 action right now. Excuse me, with a minute 35 remaining. We've got Nabor, Wiz, Prank, and Curious G for Team Pandemic, and Sire Frosty, Viper, Clint, and Havocs for 20. And then, right off the get-go, we've got Havocs with a nice shotty into Wiz, and then Clint Eastwood picking up the 3rd kill of the round for the German side, putting down Prank. We've got 4-on-2 in action, in favor of 20 ID. Nabor and Curious G, the last remaining Germans, and then Nabor going to be taken down by Viper. Beautifully done. I believe that was... Nabor was behind the south crates. Yes, he was. And then Havoc's going to pop out and put a shoddy bullet into Curious G, taking him down. And that is going to grab round number 21 for 20 ID. They're going to try to make their comeback. And Team Pandemic right now only need one more round in order to grab this victory and pick up that 13th elusive round. That'll be the winner. And with round number 22 starting right now, I'm going to hand it over.
Yeah, that's right. Havoc's doing a great job on defense, holding down the whole house. As I'm going to tune in with Nabor this time, he's making a full-on push through the whole house. He's got a BAR on him, and he's pushed his way all the way through and seeing all kinds of action. Gets a kill in the Havocs and almost taking on a second person, but he did a mad rush through whole house, made his way all the way by cart and getting a kill. But there you go, Clint Eastwood with a headshot of his own, putting down Curious G. So now 3-on-4 situation has a lot of kills going down. Viper getting a Tommy shot into Rob Wiz. 2-on-4 situation as Nabor and Miller, the last ones left. Nabor going down to Razor, who was sitting in pink room, saw him coming around the corner and puts him down with a 44. So now we got Miller, last one left. Let's try and figure out where he's at. Miller, he he's in the South House, over by the A-bomb site. He's came out of South House. He's got 4 people to try and take down, as he may toggle the bomb or may not. Nope, he's made his way past there and working his way into the German spawn and not seeing anybody at this time. And he's all the way back in the German spawn, seeing somebody. We got 50 seconds left. Oh, he's trying to go up for the bash, but Viper ended up catching him and no-scopes Miller. Very funny situation, as now 20 ID getting the last 2 rounds. So now 12-10 is your score, Jester.
All right, yeah, it looks like 20 ID turning on the heat right now. They do not want to lose this match, and it has been very exciting. Like I said, me and Shanks having a great time casting for all you guys, and I hope you are enjoying the cast. Remember, tell all your friends, pound e-rev on the Game Surge Network, and get on the website, hop on the forums, browse the general chat, and give us some ideas, give us your comments, give us anything you really would like, and we hope that you are enjoying this high-definition cast. And with round number 23, yes, it is 23 beginning right now. We've got 5-on-5 action with a minute 25 remaining. No smoke, no kills, no nothing have been deployed. And we've got a little bit of a dead area right now. No kills thrown down. And at that, I'd like to tell everybody, give Shanks all your shoutouts. Make them appropriate, make them fun for everybody to listen to. And we will throw them up after our cast. And just make this cast more enjoyable for you guys. It looks like Curious G has pinged out at spawn, so it may be a 5-on-4 advantage in favor of 20 ID. American Smoke has been deployed at the wagon, and it looks like that'll be Clint gonna take down Prank and pops a nice headshot into Nabor. Right before that, Havoc's gonna put a shotty into Wiz, and then Sire Frosty putting a nice headshot into Miller. We've got 5-on-1 action in favor of 20 ID, and the last remaining Pandemic player will be Curious G, and he is pinged out at spawn. I don't know how long it'll take them to know. Yes, he has been removed by the server, and that may... I don't think that's going to be a dead round, but that'll be picked up by 20 ID. So the score right now sits at 12-11. They're going to restart the server and see if 20 ID can tie things up, or if Team Pandemic can grab that 13th round and grab the win.
Yeah, that's right, and it is going to be 12-11. I do want to correct you there, Jester. We're not doing it in high definition. I wish we could do it in high definition, but, you know, we here at e-rev, we are going to be having a lot of really cool things coming out. I know you're looking at, you know, some casts that maybe you've seen before, but things are going to change here shortly. We got some really cool video casting software that's going to change how you view the matches. We're going to have war room coverage. We got a lot of really cool things that you haven't seen on the Call of Duty 2 casting side. So we welcome you all to get involved and be a part of this new network that's so far has been very successful, and we're looking forward to expanding into other games. And again, you guys are all tuned in, so you must love gaming. So tune in at 10:30 on Stream 1 is the Battlefield 2142 newscast. It's the first of our many series of news that we'll be covering. It is going to be video coverage. This isn't going to be you know, radio news or anything like that. We're here for eye candy, so that's what we're here to do. But again, while we got some time, looks like Curious G isn't quite back yet, so I'm going to tab out here. See, and I are shout-outs here, so I'm just going to see here, and we'll see what we got. All right, looking at some of the shout-outs. We got one from Team Warchild, Elite Drunk. Shout-out to Roblox Bigums, Turtles for Life. We got one from this COD2 Poxy. Shout-out to Wiggs. He's a fat little hobbit. And let's see, we got one from Artist coming in. It says, listen to me on my radio voice, you big dumb animal. There you go, Artist. There's your shout out. You got it live and on the air right here on e-rev TV. Jesse, or excuse me, Jester, what do you got on your side? Any shout outs yet?
All right, he's calling me by name. I do have 2 shout outs right now. I got one from Selco. He gives a shout out to Electric in DNE. And then we've got one from Moors from Slash Trend. I believe it is, yes. And he gives a shout out to you, Big Daddy Shanks, for being yourself. And you need to start HQ pugging. So looks like everybody loves you in the HQ pugging scene.
Yeah.
What can you say, eh?
Well, you know what? I've been so busy with this launch of the website, all kinds of things going on. I'll be back at the HQ Pugs. Don't you guys worry. I'll be there to do some midnight, 1 o'clock in the middle of the night HQ pugging / drunk casting and whatnot. So I'll be there for you guys. Don't you worry. Got a shout out from, let's see, 20 ID Televis. Shout out to my team. Praise to Allah, positive energy, 20 ID Shikara. Say that in the most epic voice you can. So there you go. I'm going to say it one more time. 20 ID Shikara. And then tell people to idle, pound 20 ID. So I'll do that as long as people idle back. Pound e-rev. Got one coming in from e-rev 87. Shout out to Vapor from 87 for a great time last night and memories that will last a lifetime. So there you go. Got one last one here. One from FD Telly. Jester is a cutie with a smiley face. So there you go. That's all I got for my shout-outs. But keep them coming in, folks. I'll definitely get more as the match kind of ends here. Jester, got any more on your side?
I got no more shoutouts, and I thought the match was going to start off, but Curious G came into the server and then he got disconnected again. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's his Punk Buster, or maybe he just keeps minimizing. I don't really know what's going on. But we only have one more round to go. If 20 ID wins it, we're going to go into overtime, and if Team Pandemic wins it, we are going to end the match with a score of 13-11 in favor of Team Pandemic. Team Pandemic going to try to get Curious G back in here. I don't know what the policies are. I don't think they can sub in any players. They have to have the players that started the match. So Curious G is going to have to sort out whatever problems he is having and get his arse back in here. And again, sorry for that HD comment. From what we've seen before, this is pretty high def to me. It's looks a lot better, sounds a lot better, and it's just being a lot better casting. It's a lot of fun getting everything going, helping out, getting the website going. It's been rough. We've had our tough times getting, we've had a little bit of trouble with the website, but we are trying to get it up and working 100% of the time for you guys. Sorry if it's down for a little bit. We are trying our best. Chad, all of the website workers are trying their best, and if again, if you got any shoutouts or anything, send them to me, Jester, on pound e-rev on the Game Surge Network, or send them to Shanks. And it looks like Curious G is reconnecting to the server. Let's see if it'll let him stay in this time. And we're going to try to get things started. Started. Shanks, do you got anything else to say before the match begins?
Well, no, I'll just kind of run through a recap of how the match went so far, so we don't have to spend too much time afterwards on a match recap. But, man, it's just been a back-and-forth match between these two great teams. Just some unbelievable shots. Guys, we're going to have this posted up on our archive. Hopefully later tonight. Archive is listed on the top of our webpage. Again, that's www.e-rev.tv. You'll see that archive's up on the top. We'll get it loaded up so you can watch it at your viewing pleasure. And again, getting kind of back to the recap, it's just been a back-and-forth map. Poor Curious G has just been lagging out all night, but it looks like he's constant right now. So, Jester, I'm going to have you ready up and leave Curious G the last one to ready up here. No, there he goes. He's 999. One more time. I feel so sorry for him. You know, I'm sure he's trying all that he can, but getting back to the match, Nabor absolutely dominating on the Pandemic side. Teammates started to catch up with him a little bit. I think Rob Wiz kind of caught up with him. And on the 20 ID side, I believe Sire Frosty ended it with the lead. And here we are. Curious G is readied up, and we are going to bring you round 24. So here it is. It's it's go time for 20 ID. It's go big. big or go home. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the 20 ID side on their defense, see what they can do, because this is where it matters for them as they're getting into their defensive positions. As Razor's made his way down into the bottom cellar, his teammate Havocs has made his way up onto the stairs in cellar house with the shotgun. We got Sire Frosty back by the south house, and Clint Eastwood, a.k.a. Brett, he's sitting right in the Arch's house, bottom Arch's house, making his way up top. Minute 30 left in round, nothing going on as of yet. As Brett is making his way into the flank, not seeing anybody. Actually, him and his teammate, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Looks like everybody's everybody's paused. Are we live here, Jester?
I don't know really what's going on right now. I'm looking at Curious G, and he continues to ping out. I think they're going to throw a dead round in or something.
Yeah, that is what's going to happen. So here we go. Here we go again. Another dead round, but all we got is one round left, guys. Just hold it. Hold your internet, Curious, for one more round. And we can wrap things up. Not like I have any place better to go, but I want to watch this Battlefield 2142 newscast. I've been watching them work on that all week. They've been putting a lot of hard work into it, so I can't wait to watch it. As, again, Curious G disconnected. So they're in pandemic waiting for their fifth, so we're just going to kind of idle around. I'm going to sit here and just blabber about absolutely senseless stuff here. Again, we'll see if I can catch some shout-outs, see if I got any more coming in. Oh yeah, got a couple more. Got one from QQing. Says, I'm a beast. Hey man, right on. Glad to hear it. And got one from e-rev Mike. Shout out to Shanks from Mike. Love, love, love. P.S. You need to op Jester. Wow, gosh darn it, I need to do that then. So let me get in the channel. See where you are, Jester. Where are you, Jester? Are you down there somewhere? Oh yeah, sure enough, there you are. I'm going to go ahead and get you up so everybody can find you. Poor Jester. He's just not important enough.
Hey, I try my best.
Well, you know, we'd love to be talking about some exciting stuff here, but, you know, as everybody knows, this is what happens during some matches sometimes. So, you know, here we are. Jester, you got anything on your side?
Yeah, I got a couple of shout-outs. I got one from R3 Thorn, that'll be Relentless Gaming, I believe it is, and he says, shout out to Havocs, he's the toughest player in the game. And then we've got one from Stress, he gives a shout out to Bullets and Tupac, join Stress team now. That's all I've got on my side. We're wearing the shoutouts thin right now. We need Curious G back in here, get his internet fixed or something. We can only do shoutouts for so many hours. I want to get this action going, and this has been a very exciting matchup, and just the end is not inevitable. We are waiting so long for it, and I want it to come. This has been an exciting match, an exciting cast.
I'll tell you what, Jester, I got some more shout-outs here, so I'm going to keep doing these. So if you know, if everybody ready's up and things get started, pull me out. But I got one from a personal friend of mine, Ronan, War Ronan. He's just saying, shout out to the Tiki Bar. So, yeah, Tiki Bar, that's our place to hang out during the summertime on the lake. Lots of drinking, lots of booze, lots of craziness. So there you go, Ronan. You're live and on the air. You got your shout out there, buddy. Let's see, got one from Stress. And let's see, shout out to Bullets and Tupac. Join Stress's team now. All right. Got one from... yeah, let's see here. Some of those are the same ones that I've been getting. Yeah, 87, absolutely ecstatic that I got a shout-out on the air. So there you go, buddy. And let's see. Got one from a one-hit wonder. Shout-out to Bond. I love you, ass, exclamation point. Alrighty. And got one from Kalanon. He's a long-time listener and many-time shout-outer. Here you go. He's got a shout-out. I want to say that I'm super sexy. No, actually, he didn't say that. He wanted to say that super is sexy. But anyways, got another one from eFlow COD2 Shifter. Shout out to Rob, our American hero. There you go, Shifter. You got your shout out. And last one, here we go, before we go live, one from Landon. T-Dizzle is fat as hell. So here we go. I'm back in the match. Jester, bring us in with hopefully the last round.
All right, yeah, we've got the American side. It looks like Ricos has come in for Curious G. And they are sitting on the attacking side still. They're going to have to pick up this last round on the harder side to pick up the win. It looks like 20 ID has set up in their proper defending spot. Firefrosty back on the roof behind the B bomb site. No kills have gone down. There's 1:30 remaining in this round. No smoke, no detonades, no kills. We've got a couple of the players. We got Viper back in the spawn with the sniper for the German side. What else? We got Razor down 420 ID on the German side again. Guarding the little bottom middle house area, and we've got Nabor up top of whole house with the rest of his team down below him. It looks like Nabor is going to try to get into that glitch, and it looks like Team Pandemic, yes, they are going to push the B bomb site area with 4 of them going there, and the last remaining sitting back south wall. Nabor with the grease gun sitting out on that ledge in Arches buildings. American smoke has been deployed at the wagon, and a lot of fire going to go down in the Arches area. Viper going to put a bullet into Nabor, and then Wiz going to run up the stairs and down Clint Eastwood with the shotgun. Again, we've got 4-on-4 action right now. Then Firefrosty going to put a bullet into Miller with the car, and then Viper going to grab the 3rd kill of the round, putting a bullet into Prank, excuse me. We've got 4-on-2 action in favor of 20 ID. A fake plant going to be thrown down by Ricos at the B bomb site area. And the shotty for the American side, that'll be Wiz, is going to come around into the Arches courtyard, and down Firefrosty. And it looks like the plant may be thrown down behind the B bomb site. And Wiz going to put a nice headshot into Razor, evening the odds. Wiz doing a great job for his team. He has all 3 kills for this round, and the 2 remaining players for 20 ID are going to be Viper and Havoc. A little bit of fire going to be exchanged behind the B bomb site area, and then Shotty's going to battle it out in the middle house area. That'll be Havoc's and Wiz. Both Americans going to retreat into a bottom Arches building. We've got one of the Germans, that'll be Viper, behind the B bomb site area, and the smoke has been deployed at the B bomb site, Then Rico's going to put some bullets into Havoc's, then Wiz going to end the round and take down Viper, and it looks like Team Pandemic is going to pick up the win. Great job done by Team Pandemic. Great job done by 20 ID. Nice trying to make the comeback, but in the end, Team Pandemic going to pick up the win with a score of 13-11.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out there to my man Ricos. He came in for the last round, and he got a kill. He got a kill where it mattered and brought his team to victory. So there it is. Final score: Pandemic 13-11. So. Well, we finally get things done here as we finish up again, this is our first Call of Duty 2 cast with Electronic Revolution TV. We're so glad everybody's tuned in tonight. And again, we'll get our last shout-outs here, but I think everybody kind of got a rundown on how the match went. Jester, your final comments here?
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing else to say. That was a very exciting match to cast. It was fun casting alongside you, and both of those teams brought their A-game to the table, but Team Pandemic coming out on top, and they're going to pick up another win in their TGL professional record for this season.
Yep, that puts Pandemic up at 6-0, and 20 ID is now going to be 4-2. So get on TGL and take a look at the standings, because they're going to change here very shortly. And again, we're going to be on a little bit of a break as far as TGL goes. We're waiting for August 16th until we get more TGL casts as we get into the playoffs here. And that's going to wrap it up for the evening. But again, folks, get on. It's starting here in 10 minutes. We got a 21:42 newscast special. So get over to Stream 1. Get on our website, www.e-rev.tv. Again, this is Big Daddy Shanks. Thanks for tuning in again, folks. And Jester, any last comments before we cut out?
All right, no, thanks, Shanks. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for the video cast, and this will be Jester signing off.
Peace out, guys.